Welcome to the Expanding Your Search and Stopping for Directions podcast with Brent and Julie Beemer. We are growing our circles of connections and knowledge together with encouraging conversations and positive communications. Today, Brent and Jody welcome
missionary and author of an exciting group of books for children, Julie Beemer.
And now, Brent and Jodibailey.
Happy Monday, everyone. Happy beginning of the third week of April. We have had a great month, and we've got a great show for you today. You don't want to miss this awesome guest we have on our show today, Julie Beemer. Before we go any further, let's go ahead and let's welcome my co-host, Brent and Peyton.
Hey, what's up, everybody? It's good to see everybody. Thank you so much for coming and being with us today. We got a pinch hitter in with us today.
We do.
Who is actually filling in for his brother.
Yes, he is.
And he's got a joke he's going to be telling here in a few minutes.
And then you guys are right. Let's do this.
Yeah, let's do this.
He loves
exactly.
that. He loves that.
So you're kind of like custom built to do this. You got your own YouTube channel, don't you?
He does.
What's it called? Tell everybody out there. Look at the camera and tell them.
Bailey Brothers Inc.
And they need to go and subscribe and
click the subscribe button.
It was Preston's originally, then it became Peyton's. Now they kind of sometimes Preston will still pop in there and do something, but they're fun. It's you playing games, you making goofy videos, stuff like that.
Yeah.
And maybe we'll do another one.
Yeah, we'll do another one.
All right, so
today
it's a good day today.
It is a good day today, and it is North Dakota Day.
North Dakota Day.
Happy North Dakota Day to those of you who live in North Dakota.
Do you know what's famous for North Dakota?
No, that's one.
Yeah, I don't either.
I don't really know either. I'm sorry.
I know that there's mountains up there and buffalo and things like that. But
I've got family in South Dakota, but North Dakota, I'm not real sure. But it's beautiful state, mountains and everything. Today is also National Garlic Day.
Oh, that's
Garlic
Dracula's
Day.
Least favorite
It
day.
is. So today you need to go
Stay away from vampires.
Yes,
exactly.
exactly.
Wrap a bunch of garlic around your neck and you'll be sick. No, I'm just kidding.
And bring a flashlight.
Bring a flashlight.
I know.
Exactly.
Listen, it is the natural enemy of cholesterol.
It
so
is.
You eat a lot of garlic or take a garlic supplement. It's supposed to lower your cholesterol down. So but we both like to cook with lots of it.
We sure do.
I mean, I know that there for a while felt like I was slicing garlic all the time, and my hands smelled so good. And we would go to the movies and stuff afterward, and I would just sit there with my hands over my face the whole time, just smelling
the popcorn and kind of rub your hands on it.
Exactly.
Garlicky popcorn.
This is why you guys are so weird.
Okay.
Yeah, exactly.
So anyway, how do you like your garlic? Drop down in the comments while you're clicking the share button today, and let us know your favorite recipe
with garlic.
For garlic.
Yeah.
Or with garlic. How do you ever eat it just plain, like roasted garlic?
No, it's too much. It's too strong for me.
Too strong.
Yeah, I mean, I like it. I do like fresh garlic.
Yeah.
I like it, ground down. And
I've seen people just plop it in the oven.
Yes.
Pull it right out and eat the cloves right out of it.
Yeah.
That's
it's a little bitter for me.
What's your favorite way to?
I really like garlic knots. There's a restaurant. There's several restaurants that do garlic knots. There's one here called Floridino's, and it's in Haines City.
Yeah.
And they make some great garlic knots, and they come out of that oven piping hot. I better stop talking.
Garlic bread is
really good.
Well, what they're trying to say, what is your favorite way to eat garlic?
Exactly.
That's exactly right.
Exactly.
Right. Nice job, son.
Yeah. So, so that's good. Today is also National Hanging Out Day.
Oh yeah, hanging out.
Hanging out. Yeah.
We're hanging out.
Yeah, you're hanging out. Okay, so, but what it actually is referring to is hanging out your clothes to dry.
Oh.
I mean,
you ever seen that? No, don't. She's talking about something else.
Yeah. Hanging out your clothes when you wash your clothes.
You ever seen
can
that?
you go really far and actually wash your clothes on
Have you ever seen that? Have you ever seen that?
I don't think I
Jody grew up in California.
I saw it in the movie.
Now, that doesn't mean there's not
In a
out there.
movie,
There
yes.
are rural areas of California, I'm sure.
There are,
And in,
yes.
you know, in the olden days, back in the 30s and stuff, there was pictures of, I mean, if you watch any of the old Tom and Jerry cartoons, they would show in between the buildings in the cities, they would hang it out there.
Yeah.
But in rural America, they still do that to
They
this
still
day.
do. And you know
And
what?
like in the Tom and Jerry movie, they hang out.
Well, that's what it means. The clothes are
yeah, they
hanging
hang the
out.
clothes out.
hanging
And so
To let the wind
we've
dry
actually,
it.
I mean, we actually saw that a lot growing up, especially before my grandparents moved up on the hill at their old house. There was a clothesline there that people would go out, clothespin them up
Yeah,
there.
you got to have lots of clothespins.
Have you ever seen it?
I feel like I probably have, maybe when I was young.
Yeah.
My grandparents on my mom's side lived in Pennsylvania, and
They would have
they
seen
did
it.
that there.
Yeah, they would have seen it. It makes them smell good too.
It does. It really does.
But then it's ruined forever because every scary movie person ever goes and hides behind
hides
sheets
behind them. Yep.
and then jumps out and
good accent. So they would go behind bed sheets and then just
Yeah.
like.
yeah, jump out, and
Yeah, I
it
don't
ruined
know how you
hanging
don't
out
see
day
it.
forever.
Yeah.
So,
So-
well, anyway, listen, we've got a segment that we started on the show with your brother, and it's called Preston Tells a Joke. Now, from time to time, Peyton does sit in as a substitute for Preston, but he's not going to tell a normal joke.
I'm gonna go tell a knock knock.
Yes, he's going to tell us a knock-knock joke. So you got some big shoes to fill because Preston has done 3 for 3. I mean, he is bang,
Yeah.
bang, bang. So you,
Well, like where are the big shoes to fill?
well,
I need shoes
they're
to.
right there. Look out there and tell us. All right, here we go.
I need your shoes to fill them
Well,
up.
no. Peyton, tell us a knock-knock joke right in the camera.
Knock knock.
Who's there?
Who's there?
Broken pencil.
Broken pencil who?
Broken pencil?
Never mind. That's pointless.
Oh, nice.
Awesome.
Nice job.
Good job, bud.
You did it. You did it.
You did it.
Good job.
Awesome.
Congratulations. It's Peyton tells a knock-knock
Hey,
joke.
knock,
All right.
knock joke. Well, we are going to go ahead and get to our guest. So stay with us as we expand your search. My guest today is somebody I have known for several years. We had her husband, Matt, on the program last year. But I have known Julie from our time together at Phoenix First Assembly. It's the church in Phoenix, Arizona, that was pastored by Tommy Barnett. But she was part of the Master's Commission program there. And she was also part of the choir and the singing Christmas tree that my dad, who was the worship pastor there, conducted. And it was many years ago. We have some of the same friends that we still keep in touch with. But her story, when she was a child, her mother would often say, "You're my little missionary." And that's exactly what Julie became. Julie has lived nearly all of her adult life outside of the borders of the U.S.A. And her and her husband, as I said, that we had him as a guest last year. They are the co-founding directors for Club 1040, which is a relational missionary movement that reaches the unreached. She and her husband have pioneered many churches and many Bible colleges across the nations, all over. And she's had the opportunity to be a regular speaker for different conferences and churches and many Bible colleges throughout the United States and Europe and Africa and the Middle East. Her work also includes aid distribution and humanitarian projects amongst the refugees. I want you to welcome to the program Julie Beemer. Hey, Julie, how's it going?
Doing very good. Thank you for having me on today, Jody.
I am so glad to have you on. You know, when we had Matt on, it was great, but it was kind of like we need to have Julie on as well. So, so here we are. We're doing this. We're doing this together. So, how's it going there? You are in Lebanon, correct?
We're in Beirut, Lebanon, and many of you will be familiar with that because of the August 4th Beirut blast.
Yes.
And so that was only a few months ago. So many of you have heard it on the news.
Yeah. You know, I know that through all of that, you all have been transitioning. I know your ministry offices there, you're transitioning. And I mean, because you've just grown so large. I mean, how's that going?
It's wonderful. We started off in the U.K. over 28 years ago. Wow. We were able to set up a beautiful church and Bible schools there. We transitioned and turned that over to our associate pastors. Then we went further into North Africa and the Middle East to Nigeria. And God just did an amazing work there. We were there for 10 years and Bible schools there's 6 Bible schools in 4 different cities there with over 4,000 students. And so we were able to transition that over to our associate, and he's taken it to a whole nother level. And now we have relocated to Beirut to go further into this 1040 window into the North Africa and the Middle East.
Wow, that is amazing. You know, I know that several years ago you were doing and you do outreaches to the refugees there all the time, as we had said. And I know that you've done a lot of women's outreaches, like with women from America that come there and do things and help out these refugees. Tell me a little bit about that.
Well, just as you're speaking, I was just in the refugee camps yesterday, and it's on my profile. We haven't been able to go into the refugee camps since 2019. So because there became protests all throughout Lebanon, and so it hindered us from going there. But yesterday, for the first time, I was able to go in, be in the refugee camp, see how they're doing. But my heart is to show, in fact, next time in our next refugee outreach, what we're going to be doing is taking the refugee women, bringing them aside, getting to know them. We're going to be doing arts and crafts, ministering to them one-on-one, and then we're going to be able to take them to a beautiful dinner, just love on them and get to know them. It's incredible. They are so open. Even yesterday, I was praying for the ones that we would go to, so receptive to receiving the Bibles, so receptive to being prayed for. And the biggest thing is Jesus is always backing me up. He literally, testimony after testimony of healings that happen after we've gone, and when we come back, there's more people that want to be prayed for. It's incredible.
Oh, that is so awesome, and such a great opportunity for American women to be able to see that and experience that. It is absolutely just a beautiful, beautiful opportunity. So let's go ahead and start talking about your book, because you've got your 4th book in the series getting ready to release. So it's a series, Around the World with Matt and Lizzie. It is such a great book. And as you can see, and we'll put some artwork up in a little bit too as well, this is a book that is geared for children. So tell me the background here. Why have you written Around the World with Matt and Lizzie book series?
Our world is a global world right now, and every situation you see facing in the news is global situations. And I wanted to give parents, grandparents, teachers a tool that will be able to be used to start giving global awareness to our children. I want them to succeed. You know, the Lord gave me a scripture that says, the generation of the upright are blessed, and they will be mighty in the land. And in order for them to be mighty in the land, they've got to have this global awareness. And it all started back in Nigeria. I was working in an American international school, and I would see the transcripts of the people and the leaders that were coming to the school. They were ambassadors, they were UN teachers, they were incredible leaders in our nations. Most of them were not born again, but their children were being trained, going country to country. In fact, some of their transcripts were massive. They had lived in some of the biggest cultural environment, different countries all around the world. They could speak languages. Some of the children could literally speak in about 5 different languages. It was amazing. Wow. They had lived amongst these foreigners. They knew about the cultures. They knew about the situations. And then I would come back to America and I would see Our children don't even know the states they're living in. Many of them don't know how to meet foreigners. They don't know about different nationalities. And my heart was grieved. And I was like, Lord, I've got to do something about this. And so I took all of our families, every story in here is actually from real pictures and real situations that our families have faced. And I put them in a book. And this is to create global awareness, global situations that children will, have questions about. In fact, in this one, let me just tell you, Matt and Lizzie, they travel to China and they smuggle in Bibles. They go to an underground church, and this, the people in China, they don't have the opportunity to meet freely. They don't have Bibles. And so I want our kids to start asking the questions, Mom, why can they not meet freely? And I want them to know that this could be in the situation. Obviously, many of us have had to face this situation in this last year.
Wow, it's amazing. And I was talking with just about a month or so ago. I was interviewing somebody who also travels. Now they're here, they're in America, but they take their kids with them and show them, the different places outside of America, the comfort of America. And so my question for you is, how do we begin training our kids to be those global leaders that you are talking about?
The first thing is buy my books.
Exactly. Buy her books.
They have so many tools in here that will reinforce the things that I want them to learn. And what I like to do is start by getting a map. And I go to Bed Bath & Beyond and I get a great big map, and it's a shower curtain and it shows the different countries. And I get on the floor and I start talking about these different countries with children. I begin letting them pray for these different countries. And, God opens up their hearts, and that causes them to want to learn more. Then I go outside of my house and I find somebody that is from a different culture. There is nothing like meeting somebody from a different place.
That's true.
You invite them into your home. I mean, you're doing two things. You're welcoming them. You're opening up your home to them, making them feel welcome, but you're also teaching and training your children to value different nationalities, different cultures, different foods, different languages. And that is just the beginning of the things that you can do with your children.
That's amazing. I know that, some people might go, well, why do our kids need to be trained? And I mean, just look at our world around us right now, and what can we do? But why? Well, what do you feel is a reason that our children need to be trained to be global leaders?
Jody, they're not going to be able to succeed in their future if they do not have this global awareness. They will get left behind. In fact, our children are getting left behind as we speak. And in order for them to succeed, they are going to have to know these things. Our world is interconnected now.
Yeah.
I'm literally on Zoom meetings from Beirut, Lebanon, with you in Orlando, Florida.
Yeah,
and this is happening everywhere. And so for our kids to be able to be successful in their future, they're going to have to know about currencies around the world. Other countries are not just going to be English speakers and dollars anymore. They want their countries to be the successful ones. And so we need to know about, the different currencies. We need to know the different languages, not just to be successful politically or educationally, but to change people's hearts. And the first thing that opens up people's hearts is you smiling, listening to them, getting to know them, listening to their stories, and valuing and respecting their cultures and their differences.
That's awesome. Yeah, that's very true. So as we have these books now available to us, and how, I know that we need to read those books, but how can they be used as a tool to train our kids?
So going through the books, I have, I really aimed and targeted it at our homeschoolers, because obviously this last year has been one where we've needed tools in our hands to use. But in the back of the book, I have given you tips to be able to use, questions, different ways. In fact, even in the China book, you learn how to write in the Chinese language and you learn how to speak.
Wow.
in the Chinese language. You also get to learn how to use chopsticks.
That's so cool.
They're things that kids love to do. My son was fascinated about learning how to write in Chinese, Mandarin language. And so these have tons of tools. You start by learning where the country is on the map, and that's where it all starts. Then you get to actually meet somebody, Liang and Quinn, from China. And that's where it all starts, is meeting these characters in the book. And you don't even need a passport to be able to be global minded, which is wonderful.
Right.
Because Matt and Lizzie take you.
Yeah. And of course, in this day and age at the moment, traveling is not, to other countries especially, is not something that is as easy. And so we have to kind of figure out, what we can do. And this is such a great time for our children to really explore these different countries and the different tools so that they, maybe they have a dream to travel. And so I want to say to you to give us an encouraging word, those that are viewing the show today, about, what if they have children that want to travel, and maybe, just maybe, the parents are in fear about it because of what's going on in the world today. What would you say to those parents and those children about that?
Literally, in every Matt and Lizzie book, there is the subject of facing fear. And Matt and Lizzie both get to places and situations where they have to face this. And the first thing that they do is they remember the word, and they speak out the word and say, I'm bold. God has not given me a spirit of fear. And that's our first step. The second step is to face your fears and do something that is going to be able to help you press forward and take that action step to be bold and to not fear. And, fear is real, and we've got to learn how to deal with it. And the best way to do it is by dealing with it, by using the word, just like Matt and Lizzie would do.
That's awesome. That is awesome. Julie, thank you so much for being with us today. It has just been a joy, even in this quick time, to be able to see you in person and, as close as we can in person, and to hear all of this. I am so excited for the China series, the China part, to come out. What day does it release? Do you know?
So May 18th, it will be released. Barnes & Nobles, Amazon, christianbooks.com, any place that you can find good books. Look for the Around the World with Matt and Lizzie China books on your shelves.
And if you don't have the other ones, you've got Egypt, you've got England, and you have Nigeria. Pick them up. I encourage you to pick them up. And if people want to get a hold of you on Club 1040, we're going to throw some information up on the screen about. We've got Julie Beemer at www.club1040.com. You can reach her on Club 1040 and Club 1040 Kids on Facebook and Instagram. And if you have questions about, maybe you want to travel, go ahead and get a hold of them. They will direct you to a great place to come and do some ministry work there in Lebanon or any of the other countries they're connected with. Julie, thank you so much for being with us today. And tell Matt hi. Tell everybody. Tell your kids hi. Your daughter-in-law Michelle hi. Yay. And we look forward to seeing you again.
Okay, thank you so much for having me,
You're
Jody.
welcome.
Love to you guys. Love to your kids as well.
Thank you. Well, that has been Julie Beemer, and let's stop for directions. The Great Commission was given to us by Jesus. In Matthew 28, verses 19 through 20, it says, "Go ye therefore and teach all nations, baptizing them in the name of the Father, and of the Son, and of the Holy Spirit, teaching them to observe all things whatsoever I have commanded you." In another book, in Mark, it says, in chapter 16, it says, "And he said unto them, Go ye into all the world, and preach the gospel to every creature. He that believeth and is baptized shall be saved." It's a promise. When Julie was very young, she had a dream, and that dream was to be a missionary. Her mother encouraged her to be a missionary, probably prayed over her every day about it. But Julie didn't shy away from pursuing that dream because of fear or inconvenience or anything else that was going on in her life. She went after it full-fledged. And now look at where she's at. She is reaching a nation and many nations for the gospel of Jesus Christ. We need to follow this example of childlike faith and also encourage those in our lives that are young men, young women, our children, teenagers in our lives, to pursue their dreams and encourage them to reach the lost, to reach those that are unreachable, no matter what the circumstances are. Those children who might have a desire to go overseas and be missionaries, or at least go on a missions trip, a one-time occurrence, a multiple-time occurrence. We need to encourage them and support them. Why? Because there are people that need to hear the Word of God and hear and experience His love. As we're doing that, and even in our own country, we also need to welcome those destitute and without hope into our lives and homes and show them the love of Jesus Christ so that their lives may also be filled with hope and they can share that hope and love with others as well. Well, that's going to wrap it up for me today for this show. It's been great. I want to thank Julie Beemer for being my guest today and introducing us to her amazing ministry. Don't forget to pick up her book, Around the World with Matt and Lizzie, all 4 versions of it, the different countries. Thank you also to my husband Brent and my son Preston for a great show today. Until the next time we are together, I encourage you to continue to expand your search and stop for directions. Have a great day.
Thanks for joining us today. Connect with us on @expandingyoursearch on Facebook and Instagram and @expandingsearch on Twitter. Relive any of our episodes on YouTube. We are available wherever podcasts are found, including Spotify, iHeartRadio, Apple Podcasts, and Google Podcasts. You can also download the Direction Ministries app on iOS, Android, Apple TV, Roku, and Amazon Fire. Take some time today to expand your search and stop for directions.